What's up, gamers? This is RJ from Game News USA here, back today with another retrospective. And today we're going to go over James Rolfe, otherwise known as Angry Video Game Nerd. He has the YouTube channel Cinemassacre. He's been highly successful the past 2 decades on this platform. I think a lot of gaming YouTubers aspire to be him. We don't just sit and play a game, but we like to entertain the audience. And I think going over his life and his career is very important, especially considering the success that he's brought through his entertainment. And he's mostly been scandal-free the past 2 decades. So this will mostly be a positive retrospective. We're just going over the facts and explaining where he came from and how he got there. And we're here to have a good time. So please like, share, and subscribe. Much appreciated. Let's get right to it. So, Rolfe was born in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on July 10th, 1980. He was raised in South New Jersey. He is of Italian ancestry. I had no idea he was Italian. Maybe I'm dumb. His parents bought him an audio recorder as a Christmas present sometime in the early to mid 1980s. Later, he got a camera and took photographs of him and his friends play fighting. He was inspired by The Legend of Zelda and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles to create adventure stories. James, I'm going to refer to him as James, so you guys know, Angry Video Game Nerd is James Rolfe. I'm going to refer to him as James. James also illustrated comic books, which he updated monthly. One such comic he created had a plot inspired by the video game The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past. Rolfe started filming shorts in 1989. Good lord, this man was way ahead of his time, already filming those YouTube shorts, right? In 1989? Well, not quite YouTube, but you know what I'm saying. He continued his hobby into the mid-1990s. He used Mario Paint for a few of these early films. His early films did not have scripts or rehearsal. However, once he started writing scripts, his friends gradually lost interest because of pressure of trying to remember their lines. I totally agree. Like, I'm an impromptu guy, and when you're telling me I gotta memorize a script and remember lines, it's so forced out of my mouth. That's why I could never be an actor. That's why even though I'm reading this retrospective right here, I couldn't memorize this and just say it all from memory. That's not me, and that's not a lot of people. That's why, you know, actors and actresses, they're really good at being able to do stuff like that. And it's kind of crazy that they can. Anyway, it left many of James's films unfinished. He then tried his hand at action figures and puppets. The plot of The Giant Movie Director, 1994, involved toys coming to life. That's 1 year before Toy Story, by the way. Interesting. I'm not accusing Toy Story of anything, but, you know. No, I'm just kidding. James attended a special education school for 7.5 years during his childhood. That I did not know. I had no idea that James Rolfe attended special ed in school. And now he's a multimillionaire. It goes to show you what you could accomplish. He reflected on his past. In school, I had a rough time communicating. I went to special ed for 7.5 years. I liked it, and I had a good time. But socializing in general was a little awkward. Art always made me feel comfortable. James attended the University of Arts in Philadelphia, where he studied filmmaking. While in college, James met several friends that became collaborators in future projects, including Mike Matei, Kyle Justin, and Brendan Bootsy Kastner. He graduated from the University of the Arts with a bachelor's degree in fine arts in 2004. He worked as a film editor for corporate safety and instructional videos after graduating. Oh, so those videos, like safety videos at work and stuff, James would actually be like the guy in the camera. I gotta see those. He worked as he quit that though in 2007 following the success of the Angry Video Game Nerd web series. James operated and ran an annual haunted house Halloween attraction out of his parents' garage. The same garage was later used in building a graveyard for his horror comedy film The Better. And again used his film series pilot Jersey Odyssey's Legend of the Blue Hole, including a collection of several props and antiques that later reused multiple times in other films. In May 1996, he filmed A Total Night of Terror in his backyard, a horror film that he has called the turning point of his life. In the late 1990s, James credited several films such as the B-horror movie The Head Incident that he finished in 1999, but he did not release the 10th anniversary in 2009. He also made Cinephobia in 2001, which follows an actor who suffers from an overload of work and sees hallucinations of cameras following him. 2 versions of the film were made, a 10-minute version and an extended 15-minute version. James has stated his preference for the shorter 10-minute version. The same year, he created Kung Fu Werewolf from Outer Space, which is mainly silent movie except for narration. He also created an hour-long comedy film called Stoney, which is a spoof of the 1976 film Rocky. His 8th film of 2001 was It Came from the Toilet. In 2003, he created another film, Curse of the Cat Lover's Grave, which was split into 3 parts to define 3 different horror genres. James made a pilot of a planned web series entitled Jersey Odyssey's Legend of the Blue Hole, which was based on the urban legends of the state of New Jersey. The pilot centers around the legend of the Jersey Devil. Guys, all this stuff I'm listing right here, all this stuff I'm naming, I had no idea. None whatsoever. And honestly, I wish I could find these movies because I want to see them. I do. I want to see all of them. So if any of you know where I can find all these movies at, can you share in the comments and link in the description or something? That would very much be appreciated. Angry Video Game Nerd. James' career did not gain much momentum until May 2004 when he filmed a 5-minute short video review of the NES game Castlevania II Simon's Quest. By the way, I watched that video. Yes, I'm that old. I saw that video, I watched that video, I subscribed back then. No kidding. Yeah, I had a different YouTube channel back then, whatever. I was there. I was watching him. I don't remember if I subscribed or whatever, but I was watching him. Back then. His character was originally named the Angry Nintendo Nerd, but changed to the Angry Video Game Nerd, sometimes shortened to The Nerd, to avoid trademark issues, and because he stated reviewing games on other consoles, like the Sega Genesis and the Atari 2600. James conceived the character while studying at the University of the Arts of Philadelphia when he attended from 1999 to 2004. James then made another video review of the 1988 game Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. That is a funny video. Like, that is a very funny video. Originally intended to be the last of the series due to it being the game James hated most. The video introduced the running joke of the nerd drinking alcohol due to the badness of the game. James initially used Rolling Rock for the gag, as it was the only beer in his refrigerator at the time, but would later perform the joke with Hooligan beer, hard liquor, and non-alcoholic hot sauce. James originally intended to keep his videos private, but his friend and collaborator Mike Matei convinced him to post the videos on a YouTube channel called James Nintendo Nerd, now called Cinemassacre. On April 6, 2006, Matei created and managed for him. On September 12, 2006, James' character first gained mainstream attention when his review of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles became popular on YouTube. His videos were also posted on Game Trailers and Screw Attack and had gained 30 million views monthly. He had over 3 million subscribers as of September 2019. At the end of 2007, James halted production of the series and canceled an appearance at MagFest after suffering from a break in his voice. On March 17, 2010, he made an announcement that he was suffering from burnout as a result of consistently writing, directing, and starring in the videos, and that the show would be entering a brief hiatus. It was scheduled to return in May 2010, however, an episode was released on April 30th. Episodes are either released on the first or second Wednesday of each month, as opposed to 2 episodes per month due to James' other projects. Episodes were at one point posted on YouTube over a year after the original release on Game Trailers. James formerly had affiliations with Screw Attack before leaving in 2013. James' nerd character gained further fame through a fictional feud with fellow YouTuber Doug Walker's Nostalgia Critic character. This began with the critic launching a satirical attack in an early video, prompting a response from the nerd. Where was it? The feud took place over several videos between 2008 and 2009, culminating in a crossover video entitled TGWTG Team Brawl, wherein the characters fight and ultimately reconcile. Out of character, James and Walker clarified that the feud was entirely fictional and they were actually good friends. That's breaking the fourth wall. Both have since collaborated on a number of videos and projects. The Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie. For a period, James focused on his efforts on producing the Angry Video Game Nerd, the movie, which revolves around E.T., extraterrestrial video game for the Atari 2600. The film was a collaboration between James and Kevin Finn, and was entirely funded by fan donations. The release of the film in 2014 coincided with the 31st anniversary of the 1983 video game crash. The final sequence of the movie, in which the nerd reviews E.T., was later released as a standard AVGN episode. In 2007, James began filming The Deader the Better, a classic-style B-movie horror film that pays homage to the 1968 horror film Night of the Living Dead. The film was shown at the Atlanta Horror Fest in October 2007. On May 5th, 2006, James released a music video that included stock footage from the trip that he made to England and Scotland. The music used his work The music used in his work was from the Black Sabbath single Heaven and Hell. James also participated in the 48-hour film project between 2004 and 2007. In the 2007 event, he was the Audience Award winner for the film Spaghetti Western. His other entries were a trilogy of films called Death Suit 2004, Death Scene in 2005, and Death Secret in 2006. James had a cameo in a Doritos and Pepsi commercial published in November 2010. The ad was part of a voting contest of which the winning clip was to be shown at Super Bowl 45. However, the ad was eventually withdrawn due to public backlash because it parodied the Catholic practice of Eucharist. That's stupid. In 2007, James had the cameo in the fan film Return of the Ghostbusters. He was featured in the 2009 documentary His Name Was Jason, in which he talks about the Friday the 13th movie series and his antagonist, Jason Voorhees. Similarly, James appeared in a bonus feature of the 2010 documentary Never Sleep Again, The Elm Street Legacy, in which he discusses the Nightmare on Elm Street NES game, a title he previously covered in Has the Nerd in the 13th AVGN episode. The bonus feature can be found on the second disc of the Never Sleep Again DVD set. I know I'm dropping a lot of knowledge on you guys. I hope you like it. Please remember to subscribe. In 2010, it was announced that Rolfe was set to feature a low-budget remake of Plan 9 from Outer Space, entitled Plan 9, which was released through video demand beginning February 16, 2016. He then released on physical media stores on January 5th, 2017. Around early to mid-January 2013, James played a brief role as a news reporter in the independent short film about Sonic the Hedgehog. He was offered a role on VHS 2 by Adam Wingard, but declined due to working on Angry Video Game Nerd the movie. He was later offered a potential cameo in Godzilla vs. Kong by Wingard, but the demands of production alongside the timing of the birth of James' second daughter made the arrangement unfeasible. James also appeared in the crowd-funded 1980s horror movie In Search of Darkness. Commitment to YouTube videos had slowed James' progress in making new features, but he did make a trilogy of new shorts after Angry Video Game Nerd the movie, including Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde the movie, based on the video game, Flying Fuckamots versus the Astro Bastards in 2016, a tribute to B-movie sci-fi, and Mimel the Elf 2017, a mockumentary. On May 27, 2017, in a general update video about the future of his YouTube channel, James announced that he was in early development on what he termed an atmospheric horror movie. The film would take place in one room, very minimal. On December 29th, James announced that 2018 would lean more into his own original projects and that he would begin writing the untitled horror film. It would be in the vein of his past projects such as The Legend of Blue Hole and Cinemaphobia. On August 8th, 2018, James said that he was 50 to 75% done with the script and that it would contain some kind of nostalgic theming. But it would likely undergo further rewrites and had no plans to film it in the near future. On June 19th, 2019, James said the script was completed, but commitment on the video production would delay the project for the foreseeable future. On October 18th, 2020, James announced the horror film was postponed indefinitely due to time constraints. Instead, he directed a sequel to his 1999 horror short, The Head Incident, reuniting several members of the original cast and crew. On June 10th, 2021, James released a video explaining the premise of the shelved nostalgic horror film. It would be about a man revisiting a childhood amusement park, only to become trapped there. James stated that the project could be revived in another medium, and that he was working on another small-scale screenplay. In May 2007, he began a new web series called You Know What's Bullshit?, in which he rants about everyday pet peeves such as pennies, shoelaces, pay toilets, and printers. Originally just being rants by James, he instead decided to create a new character to host a series named The Bullshit Man, which is just James wearing a mask resembling cow dung. Wow. The Bullshit Man made several cameo appearances in the AVGN content, including select videos, and the video game AVGN Adventures has a secret character. In 2020, the show's name was abbreviated to You Know It's BS due to YouTube's advertising policies. Cinemassacre has published a number of other reviews featuring Rolfe and Associates as themselves. The topics include video games under the James and Mike Monday series, video game peripherals such as the Victor Max Stuntmaster headset, and films. One of Rolfe's other series is Board James, where he, Brendan Bootsy Kastner, and Mike Matei review old board games in a humorous way, often with recurring characters. The show eventually developed into a psychological horror series while still containing board game reviews in each episode. The show ran for 3 seasons and 27 episodes before ending in 2015. James was involved in a 15-part series titled Overanalyzers, where he played part of the manager of a fictional company that has overanalyzed various pop culture references. The series was edited and produced by another website called Cinevore. He also worked as a film reviewer on Spike.com. Rolfe has run Monster Madness, in which he reviews one horror movie a day since in October 2007. Each year he has adapted a different theme for Monster Madness. 2007 was the history of horror. 2008 was Godzilla-thon, in which he reviewed all the Godzilla films chronologically. 2009 was Monster Madness 3, which dealt with a variety of popular and little-known horror films. 2010 was Camp Cult, which dealt with both campy horror films as well as cult classic films, such as Troll 2. 2011 was Sequel-a-thon, which dealt with horror sequels. And 2012 was 80s-a-thon, which included only movies made in the 1980s. While the first 5 years of Monster Madness have been one film review per day for the entirety of the month of October's 2012 80s-thon series, Monster Madness was reduced to every other day of October due to production of the Angry Video Game Nerd movie. Despite the decreased number of film reviews, the film reviews in 80s A Horror-thon were longer than previous reviews of Monster Madness. With October 2013 Sequel-a-thon 2, Monster Madness has returned to one review per day. 2013 was Sequel-a-thon 2, which dealt with more horror movie sequels. The previous 31 marathon Monster Madness series ran through October 2016. Rolfe expressed a desire to move into other Halloween-themed projects and reviews in the future. and he said Monster Madness will always live on in some way. In 2017, Son of Monster Madness debuted, which consisted simply of 5 new reviews, with the rest of October bulked by re-uploads of older videos previously not available on YouTube. Monster Madness, under the original branding despite not having videos posted every day, returned in October 2019, now having Rolfe with guests talk about the films. James brought back Monster Madness in its original 31-episode format in 2021 with the aid of Screenwave Media. However, James redacted and remade the first 2 published videos of the 2021 series after realizing the writer had plagiarized contents of the episode scripts. In 2012, James and Mike Matei created a Let's Play series called James and Mike Mondays, formerly called James and Mike Plays, for Cinemassacre's YouTube channel. The series featured guests such as Kyle Justin, who composed the Angry Video Game Nerd theme song, Brandon Kastner, better known as Bad Luck Bootsy from Board James, JonTron, and Macaulay Culkin. James and Matei produced episodes for 8 consecutive years until they announced the series would be on hiatus until February 2021. However, Matei left Cinemassacre on December 2020 to become a full-time streamer on Twitch. James attended the University of Philadelphia from 1999 to 2004 and continued living there after graduation. He briefly relocated to Los Angeles while filming the Angry Video Game Nerd movie in 2014, but returned to Philadelphia upon completion of the movie. In 2004, James was involved in a car crash when a utility trailer came loose from his truck, flung out the other part of the highway, and hit him head-on. James sustained no physical injuries from the crash, while his Saturn Ion, which he had bought just 9 days prior, was wrecked. Later that year, James discussed his experience in a short movie, Mechanical Losses. James disclosed on the Angry Video Game Nerd episode 7, McKids, that he has attention deficit disorder. James met April Chuma in July 2004. She was a cinematographer on the early Nerd episodes. They began dating shortly after and got married in November 2007. He announced that the premiere trailer of Angry Video Game Nerd the movie in November 2012 that they were expecting their first child. In April 2013, she gave birth to a baby girl. James has not divulged details about his daughter except for a few photos, and expressing thanks that his wife got past complications resulting during childbirth. In November 2013, April posted an update on James' Cinemassacre website that their daughter is continually seeking medical treatment to unspecified complications. That sucks, honestly. On April 13th, 2016, James revealed what happened while announcing an auction of various Cinemassacre memorabilia to benefit Shriners Hospital to Children. During birth, his daughter suffered nerve damage in one of her arms and required many months of physical therapy to gain full use of it. James expressed gratitude to Shriners for all they did for his family during that time. James' second daughter was born September 1st, 2017. James had 2 cats named Yeti and Boo, who occasionally appeared on the Angry Video Game Nerd. Boo died of cancer, sadly, on April 27th, 2020. And Yeti died January 5th, 2024, of natural causes. James published his autobiography, A Movie-Making Nerd, in 2022. What a life, man. And I think we're heading to the conclusion of this video. And I want to make a few comments about everything we just talked about. So, the Angry Video Game Nerd He's a pioneer in this industry. He's a huge success. You know, he did a lot more projects than I realized he did outside of Angry Video Game Nerd. And I think that whether you saw it in the late 80s or early 90s, all the way up till now, I think James has wanted to be nothing but an entertainer. And I think it's true. He's been very entertaining over the years. Now, I'm not going to turn a blind eye to current criticism. A lot of people say he should retire. A lot of people say that he's lost a step. And I would say maybe he should retire the Angry Video Game Nerd moniker. Maybe he should leave it as it is. He's reviewed so many classic games already. And continue on with other projects. But I think he's going to be an entertainer the rest of his life, and that's not going anywhere. Whether YouTube goes or not, you know, he's an entertainer. And he also still gets so many views per upload. And that's kind of what my thinking was. But then I saw the Glover review that he did recently. And when I watched the Glover review, I was like, nah, this guy still has something in the tank. This guy still has something to show. This guy still has something to prove. And I really enjoyed that review. I think, you know, he did a lot of NES and Atari and Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo back in the day. Clearly, he's had to move on a little more to the PS1 and the Nintendo 64, which I'm fine with. But he's actually been around so long now that maybe, you know, he could hit some GameCube and some PS2. And actually, why not go all the way even to modern day? I mean, this guy's starting to do mobile games. I disagree with the mobile games. Don't do the mobile games. But there's so many video game reviews that he could do that I'm excited to see more. And he may not upload all the time, but when he does, it's appointment television in my house. So, anyway, guys, that is the retrospective on James Rolfe, otherwise known as the Angry Nintendo Nerd, the Angry Video Game Nerd, Cinemassacre, whatever you want to call him. He's been widely successful. He's made his YouTube channel. He's got movies. He's got video games made after him. I know I aspire, and many others aspire, to have the level of success that he's had. And I think it was important to go over this retrospective about him. Leave your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching this video. With that being said, guys, I'm out. Have a good one. Peace.